Question number one, there are definitely big social media accounts that grew without a face. Are those just an exception, or is it possible to grow without a face? If yes, how?
That's definitely, can I answer? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, I try not to give absolutes in anything, right? Like, as you can tell from my presentation, I try to be very loose because, no one knows everything 100%. Obviously, I'm speaking from personal experience. In my experience, personal brands are just stronger. Yes, you can, but how many times have you seen someone grow their faceless brand and then transition to a personal brand later? Wiz of Ecom face reveal, Save Your Sons face reveal, Legacy Builder face reveal. Like all these big writer accounts face reveal, Dakota, Talon, JK. Right. Everybody who went faceless eventually switched to face and they suffered the consequences of building a faceless brand later on. But you could have just never had that issue if you just built with your face from the get go because your face is never going to change unless you're like Game of Thrones, niche, faceless man. So I recommend building with a personal brand. Of course, you can without it, but my thing is like, why would you give yourself that obstacle? You know?
I agree 10,000%. Um, do you need to ask your clients permission first before sharing their feedback and results, even when you anonymize it?
So two things here. When you anonymize it, I don't ask. I mean, what are they gonna say? No, no one's ever complained about an anonymized testimonial, but I work it into my contracts as well. It's in my contract says that we have full marketing rights to all the work we do. Um, it's never come up in the years that we've been doing it, but anonymizing it is your surefire way of nobody caring. They probably won't even know it's them. They'll probably forget. But I would never give away the specific content that I've written for clients, right? I'm never going to say I wrote this blog and then block out the name. That's just saying you wrote the blog. And that's kind of a ghostwriter specific issue is you just can't dox the specific accounts you work with. Um, on sales calls and stuff, I do, but like in public, I would never.
All right. Do we have any other questions? Do you post your first testimonials on your website?
To be honest, I think I posted analytics screenshots on my website. When you scroll down, I had a testimonial section or a results section. It was just screenshots of analytics. But to be honest, like you can hit 10K a month without a website. Like, I showed you guys Jeremy. He doesn't have a website today. They're doing like 400K a month. It's like if you just get good results, you don't really need a website, to be honest. But that's another story.
Yeah, these days
Like, yeah,
they only say websites like if you have plan like if you have like SEO or something as part of your plans, but
yeah. If you have I mean, I've never booked a call that's become I've never closed a client through my website. My website it's so arbitrary. Like all of my sales calls go through my DMs or referral. Like I've never closed anyone through my website. So for me, it's just I have the website because it looks cool, but realistically, you don't need one, especially if you're below 10K a month. Like just get results, man.
yeah, agreed. Is there any way to show social proof if you had no clients and you're a total beginner?
Definitely. So use yourself as the social proof. So a great way to get clients is to just practice what you preach. So like if you have great content, if you're going to be let's say you're a ghostwriter, if you have great content, really good tweets, people will see that and be like, I want that. Very simple. And if they want to say, hey, who have you done it from? Yeah, I've done it for myself. Look at me. Look at my content. Would you like this content? It's like it's literally you writing it. And you could say the same for more than just ghostwriting, copywriting. Like what are some emails you've done? Here you go. Here are my emails. Just like if you have a portfolio, right? Like if you're fresh out of college or something, you have a portfolio. Most software engineers have a portfolio of projects that they made on their own or little games, little calculators, etc. Right? Same deal. I feel like a lot of people get hung up on this. It's like anything can be social proof. If you're doing it, it's social proof. It doesn't matter if you're getting paid for it. And then worst case scenario, you could do it for free, but I don't work for free. So that's up to you.
There, you could add risk reversal to the offer if you're feeling super like if you're not feeling extremely confident, like put a
Yeah,
guarantee.
and I don't like guarantees. I've done them before, but
Yeah,
um
personally.
I definitely recommend like it's like you just it's like a balance, right? If you can't close any clients, you just need to add something to the other side of the balance. Work for free, add a guarantee, like risk reversal, et cetera. And then as you slowly have clients and the balance is in your favor, you can take away the guarantee and take away the risk reversal, et cetera. Right. So there's many tactics you can do to get clients. I
Yeah,
actually worked on Upwork. I didn't talk about this. I started on Upwork. My first client was $10. I didn't even, my first actual, I don't call it client. My first job was $10. I was writing blogs on Upwork. Then I wrote an ebook. I wrote all sorts of stuff, emails for $10, $25 a piece. You could still see me on Upwork to this day. And then I closed that client through Twitter for 1,000, and then went back to Upwork, closed another Upwork client for 1,000, and then I just got off Upwork because I'm like, I can make $1,000 a month. But yeah, I mean, you want to get testimonials, go on Upwork. That's easy.
yeah, for sure. Build up those, just build up with whatever you got. Jump in.
Yeah.
How much are numbers useful while tweeting?
Hashtags. Hashtags are you talking about numbers or hashtags? Sorry.
That's yeah, I think maybe it's hashtags. Maybe hash
Hashtags are really bad. Just don't do them.
hell no. No,
Yeah,
yes.
just don't do hashtags. It's not like 2009.
You look
I've
like
been on Twitter since 2011, and I used to use hashtags, and it's so cringe. It's actually you'll actually get hurt on the algorithm. It's in the code if you use more than one hashtag, but I just recommend using no hashtags because it's not relatable. People are gonna be like, "Who is this guy?"
yeah, you look like a noob. Hashtags for sure.
Yeah, exactly. For lack of a better word, you look like a noob.
Yeah. Um, if you don't have a website, where would you direct your prospects if they want to see your portfolio?
A Google Doc or your profile. That's usually what I do. Actually, nowadays it's easier because now you have the highlight section. You can just put it in your highlights section or anything like that. Um, if you need like a portfolio of actually like completed emails, then yeah, you'll probably need to create a website. But for me, when I'm talking specifically ghostwriting, it is social media writing. So my portfolio is on social media. I was practicing what I preached.
Yeah, I think you guys also need to like underestimate like all like the bells and whistles. Like I'm sure you know Marcos. There's people you probably done it. There's people who are doing 7 figures in revenue just like off of like Google Docs. They're not even designing sales pages or like anything.
Yeah, my web, like I said, my website's never closed me a client, and I'm talking specifically in ghostwriting. But I mean, I've fallen into that trap of, you know, building the logo and building the website and doing all this stuff. Like none of that matters. Get a client. You need to get clients. It took me 5 years to learn that lesson. I just made $0 for 5 years, and then I was like, all right, humble yourself, go on Upwork, and then I just actually got some work under my belt, and then it snowballs from there. Like you should be so busy that the website shouldn't cross your mind. You know what I mean?
See, both me and Marcos wasted so much time doing shit that does not make money. And then we're like, oh, let's just do this stuff that makes money. So now we're trying to save you the heartache and pain of doing the same thing. Just go do the things that make money and then do whatever else later. Um,
Right.
talking about trends, one reason I don't follow them is because you risk moving away from your niche. It's good to grow followers, but would they be good leads?
Yeah, so there's two things to think about here. One is that you can't generate leads if you don't have new followers. So that's number one, right? A lot of people try to pick one or the other. I'm going to generate leads or I'm going to get followers. Well, why not both? Right? This is why there's 5 pillars and not one pillar. So why wouldn't you do trending and also do social proof and also do expertise? So think about it this way, right? It's I personally don't like doing the sniper approach. The sniper approach is writing these long, in-depth social proof threads only and targeting 14 people a day and then just never getting new followers. I'd rather go the shotgun approach and get new followers, get 1,000 new followers. Maybe only 10 of them are in my ideal market, but I got not only did I get 1,000 new followers, which is going to add authority to my account, but it's also going to add 10 leads. So even if only 1% of those people were leads, I still gained 1,000 followers worth of social proof. And I was able to gain 10 new leads. It's much easier to gain 1,000 followers to get 10 leads than to just get 10 followers that are 10 leads.
Beautiful. We have a breathwork practitioner here to frame the question. On X, many breathwork people don't post anymore except for Wim Hof and some apps, but they do not follow me. So building it based on who follows me, I think it's going to be slow on X.
Well, I would think of it as you think of it as adjacent niches, right? Like people don't when people click my profile and they see who follows me, it's not 100 ghostwriters. It's not 100 copywriters. It's not even 100 agency owners. It's just 100 people that they follow. So if someone's an entrepreneur, they might be in my niche. So if you're in breath work, what are some of the adjacent niches? And you can write it down, right? Write breath work and now go mindset, spirituality, yoga, fitness, etc. Right? And you can see all of the adjacent niches. And a great way of doing this is writing down kind of who you've worked with in the past. What are the things that they're interested in? What are their political beliefs? What are their affiliations? And you can kind of create all these adjacent niches to them and see all of these different places that you can target potential customers. You don't want to just target people who want to do breath work, right? You might need to indoctrinate some people who might be interested in breath work. Like I was never into any of that stuff. But my girlfriend is, and she held a retreat in Bali last year, and I did breath work for the first time, and it was the most insane experience of my life. Right. But that wouldn't have happened, right, if I wasn't there. So I wasn't interested in breathwork at the time, but now I might be. So, you don't want to be so in a box of just the breathwork community. You want to be building an audience in general around all of these adjacent pillars. And the way you're able to do that is by using pesto, personal, expertise, social proof, trending, opinions. And if you have all of these adjacent pieces of content, you're able to attract followers that are all in the adjacent niches.
Yeah, and if I might add one thing, like also like what Marcus was saying with the indoctrination, like sometimes I wouldn't even talk directly just about breathwork only, like talk about like the problems that people are having, and then make them aware that breathwork is like the solution. So for me, like I was getting colds like way too often, right? So then I started doing breathwork, and I stopped getting sick so much. So you can even talk about like other like health related things, and then like insert your thing as like the way to solve that problem too. Um, any tips to search? Any tips to search for profiles in your niche on X besides the usual?
Yeah, I'll give you two kind of practical tips here. So one is use the For You page. So for one of them, it's going to be training your algorithm to actually present those kinds of content to you. So for you is if you interact with 5, 10, 20 posts in your niche, your For You page is now going to be trained to actually present new people that are talking about those keywords to you. So that's part of using the For You page. And I talk about this often. It's called content research. But in order to find viral tweets and to find other things in your niche, you can train your algorithm to do that. And not only can you do this on Twitter, you can do this on TikTok, you can do this on Instagram Reels, you can do this on YouTube. And I recommend all of this. You could even do it on ChatGPT. So this is a great way to research content, but also similar profiles. And then a more kind of rigid approach that you can also do is do what I'd said for lead gen is you go and scrape. You can use a tool like Phantom Buster or Rocketbird and go and scrape someone that's in your niche that you know, scrape their followers or something like that, or who they're following. And then you can just keyword search what you're looking for. So breath work or meditation or anything like that. You just basically export it into a sheet and then Command F or Control F if you're on Windows, and you'll be able to search any keywords you want. So that's a more rigid approach, but for what I would do the For You page strategy just because a little bit lazy. You're welcome.
Um, while people are coming in with more questions, I like to ask the same question over and over to each speaker because like there's one specific thing I'm trying to like really like drill all the way into the recesses of my students' minds. So my question for you is like, what advice would you give people who they need to just dive in, right? So we always get lots of great questions about, okay, what do I do in this situation? What do I do in this situation? Like all these particularities, but like a lot of these things are things that you kind of find out along the way, like as you're diving in to go get clients. Like what advice would you give for people like to go in there and get clients, like with understanding like you are not going to have like this insane, perfectly foolproof system like as a beginner, and that a lot of the stuff like you have to go out there and actually do the stuff to collect experience and gain more confidence.
Yeah, I think for me, it's just, I think the people who I see succeed the most and what kind of flipped the switch for me was just getting scrappy. Like, uh, you know, as soon as you put all of these barriers on it and you start to create all these rules for yourself, you start to lose focus of what the main thing is. And the main thing is getting clients, getting a client for most people. Uh, so for me, it's just like I said, getting scrappy, like cold DMs and Upwork. That's all I did for 2 months. It's cold DMs and Upwork, cold DMs and Upwork. And cold DMs, you only have to optimize your profile once, and then it's cold DMs and Upwork. And that's all I did for a month until I was able to sign that $1,000 a month client. Very scrappy, no CRM, no, you know, nothing else. Like people overthink it. Website, all this stuff. It's literally just cold DMs, and all I did was cold DMs and Upwork. So I think getting scrappy is the biggest advice. Because otherwise, if you put all these, kind of preconceived notions on your mission, and you're like, I have to make a website, a logo, CRM, this tool to scrape, this tool to do this. What's the script? What kind of content do I create? Like it's already been 20 days. Like your competition already got a client and delivered results in the time that you've put out a tweet. So I think it's just going and getting clients first is first and foremost the most important thing. It's like your number one priority is get a client. And until you get a client, nothing else matters. So that's number one.
But Marcos, what do I do? I'm a beginner. I have nobody follows me. Nobody knows who I am. How are people gonna trust me? I'm so new. I'm so fresh. What can I
Yeah.
possibly do? I don't have 10 years of experience. How do I do this?
Yeah. I mean, I've done it all. Like when I started, I did I did a free trial. Awful. It was so bad. I made $0 from it. None of them converted, and the content was terrible. But I did it, and I got I remember vividly from those 3 free trials, I got one screenshot of one person saying they might have got a lead. So it's like, all right, we're leaving with something. So something I tell my team all the time, and this is kind of company value stuff. 1% better every day, as long as you have a win. So for me, I did the free trials. I did the Upwork stuff. I did this $1,000 a month client that was terrible. And from all of that, I got like a couple of screenshots of people saying I might have generated them some leads in 30 days, right? So like I think it's most important is to be resilient and not to kind of get discouraged from being a beginner because everyone's a beginner at one point, right? So again, just it's being scrappy and then just kind of being 1% better every day and having that mindset. And if you do 1% every day, just look at yourself in a year. It's pretty substantial.
Agreed. Well, it looks like we're out of questions. If you guys haven't done that yet, go drop the tags and show Marco some appreciation for the ridiculous sauce he just dropped. Look forward to seeing you guys out there going in to get clients. Remember the most important thing, like your number one priority, if you don't have clients, is to go there and get clients. Like dive straight first directly into the things that make you money. Marcos just gave you a crap load of strategies to do that. Um, so yeah, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on and helping my community. And I will see all of you guys soon.
Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.